I drove 6 hours in a storm to surprise my family. Then I heard my brother say, "I hope she has an accident." You know that moment when you think someone truly loves you, and then you hear exactly what they really think? That moment hit me at 11:42 p.m. during a storm, miles from home. I had driven 6 hours to surprise my family. And then I heard my brother say, "I hope she has an accident on her way here." That night changed everything. Not just for me, but for them too. I remember gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. The rain lashed against the windshield, thunder shaking the car. I kept telling myself it was just the storm, that maybe I misheard. But no, that was their real thought about me, laughing at the idea that I might not make it. All those years, every wedding I was left out of, every time they said I made people uncomfortable, it clicked. This was their true opinion. And for the first time, I realized I could either let it crush me, or I could finally take control. When I pulled into the driveway, the storm had calmed. The house glowed warmly, laughter spilling through the windows. Normally, I would have walked in and tried to blend in. Tonight, I didn't. I stepped inside knowing I had a plan. I wasn't here to apologize. I wasn't here to beg for approval. I was here to watch them reveal their true selves. And they didn't disappoint. Within minutes, Caleb and my sister were complaining, gossiping, laughing at things I could hear, but they didn't think I did. Every word I recorded. Every laugh, every comment. Proof. And it felt like power. For the first time, I wasn't invisible. Dinner started, and they didn't even offer me a plate. I sat at the far end of the table, calm, composed. Caleb tried to provoke me. "Look at her, always isolating herself," he said. I replied softly, "Because the invitation is always so warm." They froze. The tension in the room, it was intoxicating. I realized something in that moment. I didn't need to fight them. I just needed to let them be themselves in front of me. Their own words and actions would expose everything. And that's exactly what happened. Within minutes, they revealed their entitlement, their dependence on me, and their cruelty, all in plain sight. After dinner, I pulled out my laptop. Caleb's face went pale. My sister's eyes widened. I projected a spreadsheet onto the TV. Everything I had financially supported in the family for years. Every bill, every rent payment, every loan I quietly covered. All of it. I looked at them calmly. "You wished me dead last night," I said. "I heard you. And tonight, you're seeing the consequences of underestimating me." Caleb's mouth opened. Nothing came out. My sister shook her head. Mother looked stunned. This wasn't about revenge from anger. This was accountability. And for the first time, I wasn't the powerless one. I was the one in control. The next morning, I executed the rest of the plan. I cut off financial support, legally and firmly. Caleb's business account? Closed. My sister's rent assistance? Ended. Even my mother's apartment ownership was corrected to protect myself. They panicked immediately. "You can't do this," Caleb shouted. "You're ruining us," my sister cried. I didn't flinch. "You mocked me," I reminded them. "You wished me dead. You disrespected me for years." Their anger and fear filled the house. And I realized something. The storm wasn't just outside. It had been inside me all along. And finally, it was over. I wasn't afraid anymore. I walked out of that house that day feeling lighter than I had in years. The storm had passed, the roads were clear, and the family that once controlled me was powerless. I had survived their cruelty, their mockery, and their underestimation. And I had done it without shouting, without fighting. Their own words had done the damage. I drove home slowly, hands relaxed on the wheel, feeling something I hadn't in a long time. Freedom. My phone buzzed non-stop with calls and messages. I didn't answer. This was my life now. I finally belonged to myself. And nothing, not even their rage, could take that away. Sometimes the people who claim to love you are the ones who hope for your failure. But when you finally see them clearly, and you choose yourself over their cruelty, you realize something incredible. Surviving is sweeter than revenge. Freedom feels better than any apology. And the storm they wished on you can become the very thing that shows you how strong you are.